What is going on, Raider Nation? We're talking that victory of 17-13 of the Raiders taking on the Green Bay Packers at Allegiant Stadium. Of course, once again, Allegiant had their mixed with Raider fans and Green Bay Cheesehead fans. That's been an ongoing problem since we built the stadium. Stadium's absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't been to at least doing a tour at Las Vegas, the stadium is gorgeous, man. I'll never knock on how beautiful the stadium is in and out, the seating. I have a legacy brick there on outside of the stadium, the store, the Raiders store. But the main problem is the home field advantage never really feels like a home field advantage. Once again, this is an occurring problem when you look at all the coverage on Monday night and you see so many cheeseheads, so many fans. It's disheartening, man. I mean, if you're a real Raider fan, you know back in Oakland days, hell, if you take it back to the LA days, it's all rated out, man. You really feel like we do have a home field advantage when we used to be in Oakland or LA, but not bitching and moaning. It is what it is. We're at Las Vegas. I am a Las Vegas kind of baby. I've been there almost every year of my life. So there's the pros and cons. It just sucks to see that we need more, we need more Raider fans. But I don't blame the Raider fans not attending a lot of these games, knowing the pricing, knowing how much it costs just to take the trip there or just the tickets alone, seeing Mark Davis get all this money, all this revenue. There's a reason why I'm not wearing my Raider gear that I usually do every Raider game, is because the frustration as a Raider fan since I've been a little kid, to seeing the highs of going to the Super Bowls and just the low of losing that Super Bowl. Just I don't even want to talk about that Super Bowl, but losing it, and then the lows of the lows, and just only making like 2 playoff appearances without Derek Carr, and then with Derek Carr, and just this team just being really bad for many, many years. This defense being really, really bad. But what we're talking about is this win. This win that it didn't feel. At the end of the game, it was the same story of the other team having a chance to come back and winning the game. Raiders doing maybe something very stupid penalty-wise, really not getting any turnovers, not playing defense, blown assignments, which there was blown assignments this game. But usually at the end, the opponents are either able to tie the game. If you said 2 years ago with the Raiders, they would actually win a lot of those toss-ups, but now they've been losing a lot of the close games. This felt like another one, sort of. But if you feel the game out with Green Bay and the Raiders, Jordan Love didn't look good at all. Green Bay play calling was just as bad as the Raiders play calling at some points, or just overall their play. So the Raiders coming out with a win. I mean, once again, as a Raider fan, we know we should not have to sweat every game. We should have been up at least 2 scores in this game. Missed field goals. I don't blame Carlson. Carlson is such a moneymaker. He's one of the bright spots of this Raider team. So he's going to have his off night. Just happened to be an off night going against his brother on the other end. I believe his dad was there in the crowd. So you got to give Carlson an off night sometimes. He can't be automatic all the time. Even the great kickers throughout the years, even great Raider kickers like Janikowski had their off days. So I'm not going to put it on Carlson, but I'm putting it on a lot of the coach, which we'll get to in a minute, why we didn't win by more scores. But congratulations. We won, guys. We got a dub. Does this feel great? Not really. Not really at all. It's nice to get the win. It's nice to go 2-3. It's nice to finally see the Raiders come up with a lot of turnovers, takeaways, interceptions, 3 interceptions of the night. I think the first one obviously was kind of looked like it was thrown to Spillman. I forget how you say his name, but 41, thrown right to him. The second one was a good play. They actually caught, not like the Marcus Peters drop of could have been a pick 6. They actually caught the interceptions. At the end, you have Robertson have a gorgeous pick. I don't think even Amika's never really a starter. It's Nate Hobbs was out this game, so him going up, great jumping ability, getting up and going outbodying Watson. I thought that was a fantastic pick. But by all means, I really feel like I think the Raiders came to play, but the offense still looks really bad. Really, really bad. Not necessarily the talent that's there, more of so the play calling. The play calling is still horrendous. And we'll get into that as well. But it doesn't feel, I don't feel excited for this win. It was a good win, but I don't feel excited how our team still looks. Here's the difference between that ending of a Jordan Love of a not top tier quarterback going against this Raider defense on the final drive with way like a minute 30, plenty of time to go driving on us. Jordan Love, I never felt threatened by too much. I really felt threatened more of A.J. Dillon and his running, which I thought he was going to have a good game this game, and he did. He did run the ball really good, but there were some key stops too with the Raiders' defense, especially Max Crosby had a hell of a game, except the one stupid penalty that he seems to be doing every game. Really dumb penalties. You're the leader. Just don't do it, even though that guy flopped. But Jordan Love never felt like too much of a threat. He threw bombs. It didn't connect. It just wasn't there. It didn't. I felt like there was other ways. I just didn't really feel. I didn't feel it, man. I didn't feel it with Jordan Love to beat us. But if you go to our division, you have a Justin Herbert. You have a Patrick Mahomes. This is a team that needs to be built to beat those guys. This is a team that needs to be built to beat the Josh Allens, especially the Patrick Mahomes. Hell, you could even say sometimes Russell Wilson, even though Broncos are garbage. But this is a team that needs to be built to beat those guys, man. Those are the guys that we'll be seeing 2 times a year in Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes. So seeing this defense, it's good that they stopped Jordan Love, who is not a top-tier quarterback, but it's still a shaky defense when we have to play Kansas City, when we have to play Chargers again. It makes me a little bit more confident knowing that, having these guys do get a taste of this. This is going to give us momentum going to the next game against the Patriots, and I think we could beat that team. I think we can. That I like how this dub gives us momentum going forward. Gives us the confidence that we can get takeaways. We just gotta grab the ball, 2 hands, whatever. Just make sure you don't drop that crucial interception that could change the game. And you saw that. This is in the past where we like the Marcus Peters drop that could absolutely change the game, but we don't do it because we drop it. This wasn't the case where we got 3 interceptions. Let's do say 2 interceptions before the third interception that put the game away. It really changes the momentum. It gives the ball back to the offense. We are able to knock some time out, sometimes score. It changes the game. So the momentum going forward, the confidence now of being able to get some takeaways, whether it be interception and maybe a fumble, maybe in the future. This is good for the Raiders defense. The Raiders offense, I have a real issue with, man. Other than Carlson's 2 missed field goals, which I think if I was Josh McDaniels, I would go on that 4th and 1. The QB sneak seemed to be working pretty well, but he still tends to have these plays where we do a sweep, we hand it off to a wide receiver. You had DeAndre Carter. One of them did work, but it's a very risky play, especially knowing that the blocking's not all that great with the Raiders sometimes. Josh Jacobs made a crucial block to get us a first down, so kudos to Josh Jacobs, who did better in the run game, still didn't get that 73, 75-yard rushing, had some negative yards in the beginning. It's still a really, it's a very weak run game. It's a shotgun to Josh Jacobs. My buddy called it, Steven Cordero called it, where the shotgun is just not working when we're like handing it off like that. You got to be under center. I think Josh does more dirty work when he's under center. It kind of keeps the defense on their toes a little bit, but we continue to do shotgun runs, which doesn't seem to really go anywhere and really doesn't provide anything for us, honestly. But the Jimmy Garoppolo taking sacks here and there, I don't think the Packers line is that great. So you have Jimmy Garoppolo go against a lot of these top tier defensive lines. It's going to be a real headache. I think Jimmy did okay. He did fine. He did throw that pick, which was really, really bad. He did throw that touchdown, though. And I think what I really love, the one aspect I love about the offense with Jimmy, though, is that his chemistry with Jacoby Myers on one end. Him and Jacoby are really lighting it up together, and Jacoby has been such a great weapon. This is the one thing I've been saying so far all year, is that Jacoby Myers has been the key acquisition from the offseason. He is, we got this guy, like I said this guy was a great added piece. If there's going to be a Patriot coming over that I'm actually glad that we got, was Jacoby Myers. And Jacoby Myers continues to play fantastic. Down game was Devontae Adams, who was open quite a bit. There was a couple times where he did a streak up the sideline, but Jimmy can't throw far. There's a couple plays that Adams was open, but Jimmy didn't let the ball out quick enough. It was Jimmy's play that was really wishy-washy, man. Sometimes he was doing pretty good, especially with the short yardage plays. Obviously, since he's not throwing it downfield, you got these slants, you got these nice little short plays, little dumps off to Josh Jacobs. But then you got plays where he's holding the ball way too long. He's not making quicker reads, quicker decisions. And it's frustrating, man. Then this guy's getting sacked. And before I said he was using his legs, and even the first game, he won the game because of his legs. This time around, he wasn't doing anything with his legs. He was just not being able to find stepping up as much as he should have, or going outside and throwing the rock. It was really frustrating seeing Jimmy. Here's my controversial take on it, though. I think we win with Jimmy. I think we have a better chance of winning with Jimmy than O'Connell, which I actually I attended the Chargers and Raiders game live. If you guys see my little short video, very frustrating. I have so much shit to talk about Josh McDaniels and how such a terrible coach he is, and just because of this one win doesn't mean that he's still not a terrible coach. He did boneheaded decisions in this game, but watching the Raiders and Chargers and seeing O'Connell play, yes, he had a bad game. He was shaky. He threw picks. He fumbled. But in that second half, he really came alive. He brought us back into one touchdown. And I don't blame that last interception that sealed the game with the Chargers on him. I blame it more on Josh McDaniels because they should have ran the ball with 2:30 up ahead. I'm still pissed about that particular play calling. I'm still pissed about the Raiders and Chargers game. I'm still pissed that Khalil Mack got 6 sacks and we did nothing to adjust. I'm still pissed being there at SoFi Stadium and watching the Raiders blow it like always. I'm still so pissed that I'm not buying shit from the Las Vegas Raiders until we actually have a capable team of competing. This is not a capable team of competing. Today's win against the Packers is still not a competitive team. If we play the Bills again, if we play the Chargers, if we play Kansas City, who we all know Andy Reid wants to fuck around with us, we are not going to win. This team still cannot win. They cannot win like they should. They're still not playing great ball. And the one guy I'm looking at that is making these decisions, that has everything in the palm of his hands, has his team, bought the groceries, and making shit for me, making fucking rice-a-roni for me, is Josh McDaniels. Let's get into Josh McDaniels tonight. Why the fuck didn't you call timeout where you could have got the ball before half and you could have plenty of time, $140, but yet you let them punt it and we only have 55 to 60 seconds left with 2 timeouts and we have to go all the way downfield. You have a better chance of doing sideline plays, of hurrying up the going up to the ball with 140 than 55 with 2 timeouts. That doesn't make any sense. Troy Aikman. Can you believe a Raider fan agreeing with Troy Aikman, baffled by what Josh McDaniels' clock management was? Baffled by it. Josh McDaniels continues to be a fucking idiot. It's so frustrating. He has lost that locker room. I don't give a shit what anybody says. They can say he's going to lose this locker room. He's lost it. He lost it a couple games ago. He definitely lost it against the Chargers. You could see this man yelling at Jimmy Garoppolo when you're the fucking guy who brought him. You're the guy who brought him in. You are the guy that are making questionable play calls. You are the guy that they're asking, what do you think about this, Josh? Should we run this play? Yes. Predictable, nonsensical, bullshit play calling. Red zone can't fucking find the end zone. Only could find it once. And guess who it was with? Jimmy Garoppolo with Jacoby Myers. One-on-one play with Devontae Adams. Jimmy sometimes looked this way, didn't pull the trigger. These stupid-ass fucking trick plays that he tries to do that could have been a disaster, but Josh Jacobs was smart enough to say, nah, I'm not going to listen to fucking Josh McDaniels. I'm going to try to run it. Excuse me. This is why I didn't make any videos earlier, because I was sick. But this one brings me back. Josh McDaniels pisses me off every time I see his fucking face, every time I see his visor, every time I see what the Raiders are doing on offense. 95%, guys. I'm almost 100% better. More Raider content on the way, by the way. This fucking guy, man. Trey Tucker, once again, does a end around, gets amazing yardage, fast. There was one play, me and my buddy were just looking at the play. We didn't know who it was. But if Jimmy was able to throw it down, I believe it was Trey Tucker, beat his man, and that could have been for a touchdown. But no, Jimmy is not quick enough. Jimmy can't throw it down. This is why there's no fucking run game, because everybody knows that they're going to run the ball. They know when they'll run the ball, too. You can sit down, watch a Raider game, and go, run, run, run. That's what it fucking is a fucking run. And the defense, if we know it, the defense knows it. Because that's their job. They get paid millions of dollars to read the other opponent's offense, to study film, and to say, that's a run. A run's coming my way. And if the fucking fat ass on the couch drinking Dr. Peppers, me and my buddy, looking at the game could call run, that's a problem. Josh McDaniels has no creativity. One play where he was creative, and that was the fourth down play. One play. It's frustrating. We won. We won. But how good do you feel about this win? How good do you feel? Because I feel okay. Yay, we won. But this team does not look like a competitive team when we have to play competitive. If we make the playoffs and we're still looking like this, do you think are you going to enjoy going into the playoffs? The goal is not to get into the playoffs. The goal is to win the fucking Super Bowl. I am sick and tired of trying to build, of the Raiders organization. I'm sorry, not me. The Raiders organization, Mark Davis, trying to build a Super Bowl caliber team. Bringing in fucking John Gruden to hope we can get redemption. It didn't work. Shit went happen. Drama every year. I am sick and tired of just trying to make the playoffs and making it and losing by a heartbreaking loss. I don't want them 2 times out of fucking how many years? I don't want that team. I want a team that's going to make it to the fucking Super Bowl. You know what? Just make it to the Super Bowl. And then the Raiders have a good chance of fucking being the underdog and winning that shit. But not this team. Look at this team. Look at this team against Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are okay. The Patriots that we play next are bad. The Bears are supposed to be terrible, but Justin Fields can run it on us. Oh boy, he can run it on us. And you know what? He'll probably fucking pass it on us. I have no confidence in this team dominating other weaker teams because we don't play at their level. This is a talented roster that can't get shit done. The offensive line has not been doing its job, and it's sad. It's fuck, man. It's sad. Like we should be doing better. We should be doing better. But I'm gonna put this all still on Josh McDaniels. Good win. Great that the defense got some takeaways, got some confidence. Max Crosby fucking balling out, even though he got that stupid ass penalty. Max Crosby is a Raider, man. I don't want to ever see that guy go. I don't care if he's not putting up the numbers no more. I want him to retire as a Raider. That's a Raider. That is a Raider, guys. That's your fucking old school 70s Raider type of player right there. That's a Raider. Carlson, 2 field goals missed. I'm not going to put it on him. That's a Raider right there, too. Raiders, you know what we're good at? Fucking drafting kickers and drafting goddamn punters. Not going to put it on Carlson. Carlson's still a moneymaker. He's still solid. Shake it off. Move on to the next one. What else is there to say? It's a good win. I'm super happy for all who attended Allegiant Stadium. I was actually going to attend this game. I wish I would have, because I actually would have saw them fucking win after 1 in 7 games I've seen over my lifetime. I've only seen them win once against the Denver Broncos on a Thursday or Sunday night game. I think it was a Sunday night game. But it would have been nice to see them win in Allegiant. It would have been nice. And I'm so happy for everybody who paid that money to finally get a win. There was one particular when we didn't score in the red zone, the end zone. Mark Davis, and I think we missed the field goal, the first one. Mark Davis was pissed. Mark Davis was pissed. Finally, get this motherfucker should be pissed. And the problem is, now that we won, he's going to be like, there we go, we won. You're doing a good job, Josh. Mark, if you were a real football and true Raider fan, you would see what I and what all of us are seeing is that it was a good win, nice little win, nice little momentum, but this team has such a long ways to go. This team has a lot of work to do. This team needs to make a lot of moves. A lot of moves. Crosby is doing all the work. He needs help. We still need solid linebacker play. Look what the fucking 49ers did to the Cowboys. Look at those linebackers, man. I mean, don't know cheap shots to Diablo, man, because that guy, he'll make some plays too. There's some good plays that this linebacker, obviously with the 2 interceptions, this linebacker core does. Morg actually is starting to do better. He's doing better. There was a blown assignment. I forgot who blew the assignment. I think it was, who the fuck was it? Guy went inside. Watson, I believe, went over the top. Big play. So there's still a lot of blown assignments on the defensive side. Tight end seemed to still give, or I think it was the Green Bay's other tight end that was giving us some problems. Raiders, man, use Trey Tucker. Use him, please, because you're not using Renfro, and you can't just rely on Jacoby. You can't just rely on Adams, even though Adams didn't do anything today. I don't know if he was still a little bit bothered, too, with his injury, his shoulder, but he did nothing. He did nothing. I think Adams would take the W. He might have been a little bit frustrated not getting the ball a little bit more, but Adams is such a professional. He's been professional this whole time. He's been jabbing at the Raiders and the front office, but he's been pretty professional as it is. So I think he'll take the dub, but I think we definitely need to get him more involved. Trey Tucker, please get him more involved. He's so fast. If you can't throw over the top, I mean, you gotta give this guy a role, man. You gotta give him a role. There was another player in here. Was it Michael Mayer? Boy, dude, our tight end was looking pretty good in the beginning, but then kind of disappeared. Need to use the tight end more. The tight end is the Raiders' moneymaker. It's been that way for a long time. I missed the Zach Miller dates because that guy was a beast. Still happy he won a ring with Seattle because that fucker deserved it. Zach Miller's the same guy who fucking got his leg, almost cut off. I think when he was playing with Chicago. He's probably my favorite Raider because just seeing that guy play and not having a quarterback, guy could have been Antonio Gates for us. And Al Davis shipped him off, and it was really sad. I was really sad that day. We gotta get our tight end in more, man. Even Austin Hooper, man, he's a good tight end. Austin Hooper has hands. Get our tight ends more involved. I don't understand Josh McDaniels. He had fucking Gronk. Why is he not utilizing the tight ends? If you don't believe it, and it's not just Jimmy, you could see Jimmy, and you could see the same problem last year, this year, with a lot of people were speculating that Carr was given plays that he had to directly throw at certain players. Like these plays were for just, Devontae Adams or Hunter Renfrow or Josh Jacobs. You had to just throw to these players. You couldn't. You kind of fake read the other people, but you would have to force the ball to other players. And I feel like Jimmy is doing the same thing. There was a lot of players that were open that he kind of shrugged off. I feel like that system is still in play. That Josh McDaniels is not giving the quarterback free reins because he has such a fucking ego. We won the game against the Green Bay Packers against Jordan Love. Yay. Congratulations, us Raider Nation. Congratulations to me for fucking, just watching the game. We're going to the Chargers and Raider games and knowing that we're going to lose that game, but losing it that way was fucking devastating. I'm getting sick and tired of going to SoFi and losing it by a drive. So, congratulations to me to fucking seeing a Raider win today on a Monday night, but not pulling the trigger and getting those Allegiant Stadium tickets and not watching the Raiders win that live. Congratulations to me for not doing that. So yeah, I mean, it's a good win. It's celebrate now. Back to work. We'll see against the Patriots. The Patriots are bad, man. We should beat them. I think we might. I think we could. I think Josh McDaniels really wants that game, and he's going to pull off all the stops. When Josh McDaniels wants a game, he really does pull off the stops, like against Denver, but he just still is, he's a fucking idiot. He's still an idiot. So, yeah. So, we'll see how that goes. We'll see who's the starting quarterback with the Patriots. Hopefully, we get Nate Hobbs back. I don't know why he was inactive. What seems to be the problem. I have to look that up. O'Connell is still the third string. Hoyer is the backup. I do not love that every week. Hoyer should not be the backup. O'Connell should be the backup. I don't get that. I really don't. Bennett I think he was a healthy scratch. I'm not quite sure. So you got all this draft class that we drafted, and they're not fucking using them. So I don't know. No clue. But nice little win. Chalk it up. Pat yourself on the back. We'll see about next game. Hopefully this gives momentum to at least the Raiders' defense. Offense, 17 points is not going to cut it, man. 17 points is not going to cut it. This 30-point team, a couple years back ago, it's not happening, man. It's not happening. So, thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. More Raider videos on the way. I'm back. I'm healthy. I'm ready to talk Raiders. I'm ready to talk what's going to happen next. Also, keys to winning. I was going to do a keys to winning this game, but I was sick. And we're going to see next game and see what the keys, who's going to start with the Patriots. I think it really matters. So who starts on the Patriots side? I don't think Mac Jones is starting. I think Zappy or whatever his name is going to start. Key thing on that one is just, I don't think Zappy's going to do shit. I think that's a great advantage with us. Just giving you a little taste of example of the next keys to win against the Patriots. But you have Ramon Stevenson, and I think you just really need to stuff up the run game. You can't allow people running all over you like A.J. Dillon, who hasn't done shit all year, finally does something on us. So we can't be doing that, okay? So I'm Dan the mcdaniels. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Until we talk next time, the Raiders. I'll see you guys next time. Good win. We'll see what happens next.